Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Between the Ropes TV. And we've got a great interview for you today. Jack Massey, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. So we're going to have a chat to Jack about his upcoming fight, which is this Saturday. I mean, firstly, just jumping right into it, Jack. Are the tickets still available? And if anyone's interested in going to the fight, which I believe is in Bolton, how can they get the tickets?
Yeah, Bolton Whites. Tickets are still available, but look, it's your last chance. Tickets are going back tomorrow at the weigh-in, so but hopefully there'll be tickets on the door as well. I think there will be.
Sure.
It's in Bolton at the Bolton Whites Hotel. At the Macron Stadium. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good night.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good fight. And I mean, jumping into obviously the fight coming up. How has everything gone training camp wise? Or is everything all good?
Yeah, it's all good, mate. Everything's gone great. I'm fit and ready. If it's one of them, not every camp's straightforward. If everyone says they have a great camp, no one has a great camp. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's hard work, but we're there now. Weigh in tomorrow and then go time.
No, brilliant. And of course, coming on to your opponent, I think I'm going to get the pronunciation, right, but I don't know how perfect it's going to be. I think it's pronounced Vaclav Pejsar. I think I've absolutely butchered
that.
We'll
go for that one, mate. We'll go for that.
And I mean, what do you know about him? Because obviously looking into him, to be fair to him, he's got more wins, quite a few more wins than he has losses on obviously in his career. And one thing I would say as well is he looks quite a dangerous fighter. A lot of his wins have come by way of knockout.
Yeah. Very dangerous fighter. In his losses there, it's not nobodies. Like David Price. He knocked out Craig Glover. Big cruiserweight prospect, and some of them other guys, and the Russian. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah, he's a dangerous fighter, and he can whack a punch. Pack a punch, sorry. And he's coming for the win, and he's strong. He's very durable, and he's, like I say, he's a dangerous fighter. And I've shared the ring with him in the past. I've sparred with him, good few years ago now. I think he was down at Hatton's training.
Okay,
few rounds with them. So he's no, he's no mug, and he's no. Yeah, so he's coming for the win.
Yeah, definitely, and as you say, he has got a lot of power behind him as well. Is like, I suppose when you're coming in up against an opponent that is dangerous, because especially at the cruiserweight level, there's a bit of a mixture, isn't there, between the fighters that are perhaps powerful and looking for the knockouts, and that's their main asset, and then some that are a bit more of the technical boxer. Do you have to adjust your game plan at all? Or is your game plan, and you're
definitely little bits. You can watch the fights and stuff, but when you get in there, everything can change. It's boxing at the end of the day. You can have a game plan, and everything can change, and you've got to be able to sort of adapt in the fight whilst you're in the ring, and adapt and have a look at them and see where you go from there. But like you say, he's a dangerous fighter, and that's when you see the best come out in me. It's when someone's there, coming to take your head off, and they're a good fighter. That's when I perform best.
Yeah, so that's it. When you've really got to dig in and take the fight to them.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think, to be fair, obviously your last two victories have come by way of knockout. Is that going to be the aim for this fight, or do you not really think that far ahead? Is it just more about getting victory?
Yeah, don't really think about it like the last couple of fights. It just happened. We wasn't looking for it. Especially the last one, it was a nice clean check hook, and just caught him on the button, and down he went. And the guy, I've said before the fight, we wasn't expecting to get out there, until probably later rounds. The guy's never been stopped in his career, never been on the canvas, and it just happened. But it's, if I catch this guy on Saturday and I see signs, then I'm going to jump straight on him.
Go for the kill, so to speak. Definitely. And of course, your last fight, obviously winning you the IBO World Cruiserweight title. what was would you say that's your greatest moment so far in boxing? I mean, I imagine it was.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, picking that title up, it was you know, it was a great night, amazing night. You know, obviously all the hard work, you know, paid off to get to that point, and you know, we've got the belt now, which is great, and now we can move on and start getting some bigger fights as well, which is
Yeah,
good.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. And I suppose moving on to that, actually, it's kind of that's jumped quite nicely to what I was going to ask next, because I think a lot of, especially the English fight fans, they're going to probably pick out one name, and you might already know what's coming. Chris Billam-Smith, is that something that you'd welcome? Because I think it's one that I mean, you know, me, Josh, and Ray, who do the channel, have spoke about this, and I think a lot of English fight fans would like to see that. Is that kind of on your radar?
Definitely, 100%. Yeah, you know, it's you know, we've got a bit of history. I beat him in the ABA finals. You know, I know it was back in the amateurs in 2013. You know, we've both progressed and we've both matured into good professional boxers. And he's got his titles and I've got mine. But you know, what a fight that will be! It'll be great, great fight.
Yeah.
I think the styles, when you look at styles make fights, as they say, and I think me and Chris Billam-Smith would make a great fight for the fight fans. But it's you know, British domestic scene, cruiserweights, it's all happening. You know, we don't really need to look much, you know, far afield. This is, you know, you got Okolie, who's got the other world title. You got Riakporhe. He's fighting for I think it got announced today. He's fighting for the eliminator for the IBF. You know, there's a lot of great fighters there to be made.
No,
So
definitely, and you know, other fighters coming up as well, which I'm sure they'll probably be eyeing you up and ready to go if they can get that opportunity. But I think you're right. I think everyone would like to see the Billam-Smith fight. I think it would be a very good fight. Just picking up on what you said, then going into that, obviously you've beaten him at an amateur level, and obviously I feel like if that fight happened, it would have, you know, a full-on proper press conference. It would probably be on one of the bigger platforms as well. Would you touch on the fact you beat him at amateur level as a bit of a mind game, or is that just something that, you know, you wouldn't really, if it come to it?
Do you know what? It's one of them, and it was back into, like I say, it was back in 2013. We're both totally different fighters now.
Of course,
but,
yeah.
You know, I'll still throw it in. You know,
no. But you've got to have it. You're just a bit of a mind game, maybe wind him up a bit.
Yeah, it sells, doesn't it? And you know, he probably won't even, you know, if it was me, I wouldn't even think about it. I don't know if he would. I don't know. But yeah, I'd throw it in just for a laugh. But
yeah, definitely. And obviously, you've mentioned two of the biggest names, I suppose, at the moment in the cruiserweight division. Okolie, Riakporhe are both, you know, they've kind of been eyed up as a potential eventually coming up and fighting each other. Of course, you did face Riakporhe, and that was your only defeat so far. But it was, you know, it was a points defeat. A lot of the two without the free cards, there wasn't really much difference in that either. I think one of the cards was, in my opinion, a bit out there with what they scored. But I mean, how would you say you learned a lot from that fight? And you know, if you did get the chance to face him again, would you feel a lot more ready and prepared for it since? Have you managed to take a lot from it? And, you know, your kind of bouts that you've been in since then?
Yeah, definitely learned tons off that fight. You know, being on the big stage on Sky as well. You know, what an atmosphere that was in there as well at York Hall. Always wanted to fight there. And, you know, I did watch it back a couple of days ago. I put a little video on Instagram before Dillian White's fight with Tyson Fury, and I think I remember the commentator, and it said I weighed in at, I think it was 14-2 for that fight. I'm thinking, you know, now, you know, I'm obviously struggling to get, not struggling, but, you know, I've matured into a bigger, fixed set cruiserweight now, properly, you know, grown into a fully fledged cruiserweight, and, you know, going into that fight, I'll be a lot bigger, a lot stronger, especially on the day of the fight, going into the ring, and you know, he's, you know, pushing him back in the last 6 rounds, and I think it would be a totally different fight.
Yeah, and I think, even at the time, the scorecards they were close, weren't they? And of course,
Yeah, it's a very controversial fight, but we've touched on that before, and
no,
a lot of
definitely,
people.
definitely.
It's one time you can't dwell on it, and I took all the gains from it, and we've moved on and picked up a nice little title of our own.
For sure, and obviously, you've got the fight on Saturday. What have you got? What would you say your next fight plan is after that then? Because obviously you probably don't want to look past this fight, but would your next fight be hopefully maybe the Billam-Smith fight, or would you want is there something else you've got in mind?
Yeah, possibly. We obviously, speak to the team, see what Dennis has got planned. Obviously he's got his plans. I think we're looking for, first is defence summertime. So I think we're possibly going to do a home show. Obviously Billam-Smith, I know he'd like to fight in front of his own crowd at Bournemouth. But yeah, we're looking to defend. It's a bit thingy how we didn't get a defence this time around, but we'll get that in the summer. This is just a 10-round fight. Well, not just a 10-round fight. It's a hard 10-round fight, but we'll look to defend in the summer. If it's not Billam-Smith, then we'll look for that later on in the year, or see what's there.
No, definitely, and as you say that there's a lot of exciting names coming through the obviously the cruiserweight division. So one way or another, I'm sure you'll be able to put on quite a few good fights this year. And obviously, massive thanks for coming on, and all the best of luck for Saturday.
No problem, mate. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.